Hello and welcome into another edition of the Vegas Square Snippets. In this sound, we're going to be talking about Tim Tebow. And it has been one calendar decade since he has won the Heisman Trophy. The question I have to you is he the greatest college football player of all time?
It's a good debate to handle. I mean, he was the first sophomore to ever win the Heisman Trophy.
Uh-huh.
I know if you search his name on Google, it shows him as a baseball player now.
Yep, he is in the Mets organization as a baseball player. I didn't say pro football player of all time. I said the college. You have guys like Barry Sanders, who had one of the greatest rushing seasons of all time. But for what Tim Tebow did, to come to mind, it was. I got to say, in my opinion, he's the greatest. He's the greatest college football player of all time, of that I've ever seen. Maybe barring Herschel Walker, but I didn't really see Herschel Walker. Just from what I've heard.
Yeah. I mean, easily in our lifetime, I would say he's by far the greatest college football of all time.
I mean, you can jump back to Doak Walker, Red Grange. I mean, I guess thinking about it, I mean, you could say Archie Griffin. He did win 2 Heismans. So Archie could be the same. But did Archie Griffin win 2 national championships? So you got a Heisman with 2 national titles. Archie Griffin, maybe Herschel Walker are the two that come to mind where I could say, yeah, they make sense. But, I mean, Tim Tebow was an All-American. He was a leader. That speech that he had in the middle of what season was that, 2008 when they won the title, I mean, that's just, it gives you goosebumps when you listen to it. I know I'm probably in the minority thinking, but I think he's the greatest college player of all time, at least that I've seen. And maybe I'm speaking just from my era. I mean, I know there's guys like Bo Jackson and stuff like that. But, I mean, what do you have? Let's see. Let's check out his stats at Florida. He had 57 rushing touchdowns and 88 touchdown passes, only 14 interceptions in 4 years.
That's incredible numbers, yes.
And he should have had a second Heisman. He was top 4 in 3 out of the 4 years he was at Florida. The first year he wasn't a Heisman contender because he split time with Chris Leak, but they won a national title.
Yes.
So I don't know. I mean, if you had to take a pick, is Tebow your guy? Bleacher Report has him ranked number 11. I think that's a travesty. And trust me, I'm a Florida State football fan, so for me to say this, it takes a lot to swallow my pride.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see him being out of the top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, the only person I would say that would be pretty close would be Bo Jackson. But
I mean, Bo was great, but he just, I don't know, he won 1 Heisman. I don't know, 2 Heisman trophies is hard to do. So 1 Heisman is high. But 2 national championships, I think, is even harder to do.
Yes.
In my opinion. And I think he should have won a second Heisman. I think a second Heisman would have put him over the top. But what he did, especially, trailing Chris Leak and kind of an anemic offense, Urban Meyer brought him in. He played well. He was a dual threat quarterback who still relied a lot on passing. A lot of those guys in the college football, as soon as they figure out they can run, and they've just one-dimensional. They're a running quarterback.
Yes. I mean, he's got 51 total touchdowns, SEC record.
In one season.
Yeah. And which surpassed
Herschel Walker, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
No, Werfel's previous mark.
Oh, Werfel, that's right.
Yeah, and so is his 22 rushing touchdowns.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say my only content with that competition would be Herschel Walker. I mean, he had about 5,000 yards in 3 seasons.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
And he skipped his senior season. He probably could have had a Heisman in his senior year.
4th 5,000-yard season and the second Heisman. Yeah.
The more I read about Herschel Walker, the more I'm starting to think. I mean, he had 3 years, 5,000 yards, won a national title, won a Heisman. Should have won a second one. I still got to go with Tebow, but Herschel Walker's a close second. So, Tim Tebow, if you're listening to this, I dub you the greatest college football player of all time, in my opinion, for what that's worth. You're in the Vegas Squares top 1.
I would tend to agree. And definitely would like to see you out in Vegas.
Yeah, I can't see Tim Tebow. Oh, if he gets to AAA, though, the Mets farm system's out here. So.
Yeah.
And they're building that new stadium out in Summerlin. So, anyways, this has been another Vegas Square Snippet. We hope you tune into the next one. Thanks for listening.